One day, a year and a half ago, I had taken my wife and our kids to church, and I had the habit of sitting in the car and doing my homework, because I would not step into a place that lies. And it's funny, because if you look at my page, I say I was once a live and let live atheist. Well, I had begun to realize how wrong that concept was, because would you take your children to a math class that taught 2 plus 4 equals 24? No, you wouldn't. And if you would, then frankly I don't give a damn about you and hope you rot. But I hadn't actually come to that thought yet. I still said to myself that it's okay. You know, they're getting the upbringing that I had. They're getting the upbringing that my wife had. They are receiving the upbringing that is hereditary, if you would. And one day my wife comes out and sits in the car after service, and she looks over at me and she says something along the lines of, "It's all bullshit, isn't it?" And I can honestly say I've never been prouder. I looked over and I said, yeah, it really is. And I honestly say, and I also believe, that I am so proud of my wife. I was more proud of her right at that moment than I could possibly ever be. Because it is really difficult to overcome a large portion of your programming. It was awesome. It was beautiful. Just the way she said it, when she looked sideways to me and said, "It's all bullshit, isn't it?" Because they were talking about, I think it was forgiveness that day, wherein a rapist, all he has to do is ask forgiveness. Yeah, good. You're all right with God. Really? And yet we're all sinners and we're all doomed to hell unless we do this. Because I know people, and she knows people, that are everything the Christian God hates. And she realized that these people are damned to hell for no other reason than they don't like the Christian God. Here's a little side note. And yes, many people have run over these points. And I am not, by a long shot, I am not the best frontman for not believing. I hesitate to use the word atheist, because atheist denotes that I must belong to something, and I don't. But when you think about the concept of a God that hates you, a God that thinks you are the most base, horrible, evil creature ever made, but wants to love you, that doesn't make any sense. If I had a kennel of rabid dogs, I would count the dogs and buy that many bullets, because they are base, they are worthless, they will never be better than they are. And the Christian God says somewhat the same thing, but tries to spin it. You are base, you are worthless, you are nothing without me. But, you know, I'll sacrifice myself to alleviate what I said you must go through. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And the original point that I wanted to make here, to take it back to the beginning, is that I would let her take my children into church. And recently my daughter has been asking, why don't we go to church anymore? I miss my church. And I was on the city bus the other day with my daughter when she said this. And I said, you know what, honey, I love you. I'm not going to put you in the midst of liars. I'm not going to allow people to lie to you until you are capable of seeing the lie. And all but one person on the bus, they gave me that look. How horrible am I? How dare I say that? How fucking dare you to tell my daughter she's going to hell? How dare you? Seriously, think about that. You're telling a young child that she's going to go to hell because she was born? I can honestly say you Christians just sicken me. You make me sick in my heart. And Muslims are no better. You just make me sick. How could you possibly tell a child it's better to die in God's name than to live according to medicine? And don't tell me that you aren't the same as they are, because whenever you talk about statistics, you include those fucks in your statistics. When you say, 80% of the world is religious and that many people can't be wrong, you are including the people that pray for cancer cures. Pray for cancer cures? Are you kidding me? Do you know that statistically, more people get cured spontaneously who are not Christian than those that do while they pray and are Christian? Fuck's sake, man, that's just sick. How dare you? And how dare most of the people on the bus look at me askance when I tell my daughter that I do not want her to be lied to yet. My daughter is intelligent. All of my daughters are, and I have 4 of them. All of them are very intelligent. And I just don't see the need to lie to them. Not until they can see through the lie themselves. Unfortunately, there are family aspects that have intruded on a couple of my daughters. But I don't know, I don't really have a point today. I just wanted to get that off my chest because it makes me sick. It really, truly makes me sick to my stomach. Have a good day.